Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, and in today's video, we are doing my NFL Super Bowl LV prop show. In this video, we are going to be discussing my Thrive Fantasy prop show picks. If you guys want to join in on one of the biggest prop contests in all of DFS, you want to go on here on ThriveFantasy.com, and when you go ahead here to click the deposit button, once you sign up, you're going to want to enter promo code Notorious for a complete match of your deposit up to $50. So you deposit $50, you get $100. If you deposit $25, you get $50. It is that simple. And you guys are going to want $50 to enter the $10,000 game. If you win, you come in first place. You get $10,000 guaranteed dollars, which would be quite, as Borat would say, very nice. So make sure you check out ThriveFantasy.com. The link is down below as well. If you don't want to type in code Notorious, it just instantly does it for you and gives you that bonus. So we're going to be looking at all of the props. Now, this does apply to websites not about ThriveFantasy.com, but I would appreciate if you guys could help me out and go on there. This is not a complete and utter ad because I'm doing this to go ahead and make some money. So the first bet on the site is Patrick Mahomes over under 320.5 total passing yards plus rushing yards. On here, you only have to pick 10 out of 20 of these, and the goal is to score the most points. Some of these you will see the over, you only get 95 points. Other, you get 110. Others are more even because it's more probable, obviously, that the over 320.5 passing plus rushing yards hits for Patrick Mahomes, so you get less points for doing so. But at the end of the day, I think the best strategy is just try to get 10 correct to make your way up to winning that $10,000 first place prize. But even if you come in 100th place, you still get an additional $15. So in my opinion, it is going to be very, very fun to play this, and will make your Super Bowl experience much, much better. So let's get into it. Again, Patrick Mahomes is the first prop bet, over under 320.5 passing yards plus rushing yards. Now, this is 9-6 in the regular season based upon the over, 1-1 in postseason, but again, he was hurt in the playoffs in that one game up against the Browns. He was only 51 total yards away in that contest, and against Tampa Bay, when they played up against each other this season, he smashed it with a total of 490 yards. So my lean on this one would to be smashing the over. I think the way the Kansas City Chiefs win this game is by airing the ball out. Their offensive line has been diminished. A lot of players injured. Not too sure the probability that some of them play even coming up to Sunday. We'll have a better idea, but I still like Patrick Mahomes really to air it out in this one. Plus, he's bound to get a couple of rushing yards, so I do like the over granting you 95 points. Next category is Patrick Mahomes over under 27.5 completions, which is 6-9 in the regular season. Very nice. 1-1 in the postseason, but again, when he missed that part of the game up against the Browns, he was only 7 completions away from hitting that over. Up against Tampa Bay, the over hit with 37 completions, so 10 more almost than what it is asking. Now, the over grants you 110 points because maybe they're feeling that this game is going to be a run-heavier game from Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, and the fact that it's 6-9 on the regular season on the over would make some people go with the under. Personally, I lean more on the side of the over, but that's one I'm not as confident on. The next one up here is Darrell Williams, I should say, running back of the Kansas City Chiefs, over 48.5 or under. Now, Darrell Williams is 2-0 in the playoffs. I won't be counting the regular season because, frankly, he wasn't playing all that much in the regular season. This is one that I'm going to be completely avoiding until we know how healthy Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be. If Helaire does not seem like he's going to be seeing a majority of snaps, to me, this seems like a no-brainer pick for Darrell Williams to smash over 48.5 yards, but if he does seem like he's going to go, then I would be slightly more worried, especially with the O-line injuries. Same thing goes with the touchdown. It's 1-1 in the playoffs for him to hit over half a touchdown, so it's another one that I'm looking to kind of fade up until Sunday. And now, if you want to wait until Sunday, but you want to make sure you get in this contest before it fills up, you can fill out all your picks and then go all the way to the top, and then you click My Contest, and then you can go ahead and edit it if you decide that, hey, I'm a little bit worried. It feels like Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to play. Then you can switch it off. Next one is Travis Kelce, over under 95.5 receiving yards, which is 8-8 on the season. Dead even, 2-0 in the playoffs, 0-1 up against Tampa Bay. I feel like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who got torched by Tyreek Hill last time, are going to be more likely to try to go ahead and put double coverage on him or something, but at the end of the day, it's hard to stop all of these guys, so I would be more likely to take the over on the 95.5 yards. I really think Travis Kelce has a tremendous Super Bowl this season. Travis Kelce, 7.5 total receptions, 9-6 on the season on the over, 2-0 in the playoffs, and 1-0 against Tampa Bay with 8. This is one that I feel a lot more confident in, and obviously the site knows that a lot of people are going to be on this one because the over only grants you 85 points because it is very likely that ends up hitting, and I like that one a lot. Same thing goes here with Tyreek Hill, 85.5 receiving yards. He absolutely skull-fucked that one in the regular season. It was a complete and utter demolishment of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense with 269 total yards. This prop is 2-0 in the playoffs, but 5-10 in the regular season. Again, I feel like the defense is really going to be keying in on Tyreek Hill, but even when you key in on these guys, it's very hard to stop them. This one, I am leaning more on the over. For his touchdown, though, which is beneath that, the over-under is over half a touchdown. I would more likely be leaning on the under. Sure, he was 11-4 in the season, but 0-2 in the postseason. 1-0 against Tampa Bay in the season because this guy absolutely torched them. Like I said, 3 total touchdowns for Tyreek in that game. I just feel like it's going to be Travis Kelce eating away in the end zone, and they're going to try to cover Tyreek, and he's not necessarily some type of touchdown type of guy who's going to score 7 million touchdowns during the season. He did, but that's not typically what you know Tyreek for, so I will be leaning under on the touchdown bet. Next one up is Mecole Hardman, over under 33.5 receiving yards. Now, it would seem to be every single playoff game, every single big game, when the teams are eyeing in on Tyreek Hill, one of these random motherfuckers from the Kansas City Chiefs just lights it up and smokes it like Snoop Dogg on a Sunday afternoon. Will that be Mecole Hardman? Will it be Sammy Watkins, who we're not too sure about? Or will it be Byron the Pringle Can? 6-10 on the season for Mecole Hardman on over 33.5 receiving yards. 1-1 in the playoffs and 0-1 against Tampa Bay with just 23 yards. To me, this is kind of one of those picks where it is a true coin flip in my head. I could easily see this going over, and I can easily see it going under, so I would pretty much avoid it, but I would be willing to take the under strictly based on the juice of you getting 105 points for picking the under. Next one up is Harrison Butker, over under 7.5 points in the game. Obviously, 3 points per field goal, 1 point per extra point. During the season, Harrison Butker is 8-8 on the over for this bet, 2-0 in the playoffs, and 1-0 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with 9 points. This is kind of a play where if you believe this is going to be a high-scoring game, you slam the over if you think this one's going to be lower scoring. If you feel like the rain is really going to affect this one, even though the rain is supposed to blow over, by the time the two teams end up taking part on the field, then you go ahead and smash the under. To me, this is really just a play on what you think the score of the game is going to be. Next one up here is Tampa Bay, Tom Brady with over-under 284.5 passing yards in the Super Bowl. 9-7 on the season on the over, 1-2 in the playoffs, and 1-0 against the Kansas City Chiefs with 345 passing yards. Personally, I believe the Kansas City Chiefs are going to go AWOL on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and just score a zillion points, so Tom will have to throw himself back into this one. This is an easy over for me. Same thing goes with the over-under 2.5 total passing touchdowns plus interceptions. Even if the Chiefs defense is eating Tom Brady for breakfast, it's still easy because he's probably going to throw a couple of picks if that was to happen, so I'm smashing this one. It's only 80 points because it seems like it's super obvious. 10-6 in the season, 1-2 on the playoffs, and 1-0 up against the Kansas City Chiefs this season. 3 touchdowns and 2 INTs in that affair. So it's kind of a no-brainer. Leonard Fournette, over under 74.5 total rushing yards plus receiving yards. Leonard Fournette has been dubbed play off Lenny due to how well he's played in the playoffs compared to how much of a dumpster fire he was in the regular season. 3-9 in the regular season on this prop, 2-1 in the playoffs, and 0-1 against Kansas City with 20 combined yards in this game. If I'm being honest with you, I'm completely avoiding a lot of these running back totals in these games because until Sunday, we really don't know what it's going to be for the Chiefs, and any given Sunday for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Bruce Arians just literally just tickles your balls every single Sunday. One week, you'll be like, it's so obviously going to be Ronald Jones getting these carries, and then it's Leonard Fournette. Now it's playoff Lenny season. It's all on Lenny. Everyone's thinking Lenny's going to have a big game. Then Ronald Jones will magically have 7,000 yards in this one. So if I'm being honest with you, this one would be a fade, but I personally would lean the over based upon how he has been playing. Leonard Fournette, next one is over under half a touchdown receiving or rushing in this game. He has scored a touchdown twice in the playoffs, did not score in one of the games, 0-1 against Kansas City. Actually, he's 3-0 in the playoffs with the touchdown he scored every single game. 4-8 on the season. This one seems also like a no-brainer, but again, I'm kind of staying clear away from this one because I wouldn't be surprised if Ronald Jones had a big Super Bowl performance. Next up is Mike Evans, over under 63.5 receiving yards. 6-10 on the season, 1-2 in the playoffs, and 0-1 up against the Kansas City Chiefs with 50 receiving yards. Now, I'm thinking this is going to be a high-scoring game, so I like the over, but I personally think if one player was to really get heavily shut down by the Chiefs' defense, it would be Mike Evans, leaving Chris Godwin to get a little bit loose in this one, so I will likely be hitting the under on this prop and taking the points. Next one up is for Mike Evans as well, over under 5.5 receptions in this contest, which is 10-6 on the season on the over, 1-2 in the playoffs, 0-1 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, even if I think he is going to get over 5.5 receptions, that doesn't mean he's going to get 63.5 receiving yards because Mike Evans is a red zone threat. So I'll take the over, even if it seems like I should just hit over on both. I'm feeling very confident he catches a bunch of dump-off passes here early on in the game and just does not get over 63.5 receiving yards. Next one up here is Chris Godwin, over under 75.5 receiving yards. 6-6 dead even on the season. 2-1 in the playoffs, 1-0 up against the Chiefs with 97 receiving yards. I really like Chris Godwin in this game. I will be hammering the over on this one. I think Godwin and the Bucs have a solid affair in this one, and I like Chris Godwin. Same thing goes with the touchdown bet. 6-6 on the season, 1-2 in the playoffs, and 0-1 up against the Kansas City Chiefs. I do worry about that. He is not the red zone target, and Mike Evans is. I think this one is definitely a coin flip again. 6-6 on the season, so dead even. I'll take the over. I like points. Ronald Jones, over under 49.5 rushing yards. This is one that is a solid pick here. Ronald Jones, 9-5 on the season, 1-1 in the playoffs, and 1-0 up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with 66 yards in that game. But again, I'm really looking to be fading these running backs in this contest because I don't know what's going to happen. If I feel like Lenny is going to be getting a majority of the touches, I will take the under, but it seems so much like a guess that in a game where I'm trying to win those big $10,000, I would much rather pick the ones I am far more confident in, like I've talked about in this video. And final pick, Ryan Suckup, over under 5.5 points in this Super Bowl contest. For Ryan Suckup, to me, this is one of those no-brainer picks, again, that I would be heavily relying on in this game to win that $10,000 on ThriveFantasy.com. 1-0 against the Chiefs this season on this prop of over 5.5 points in a game, 13-3 on the season, and 3-0 in the playoffs. If you think the Bucs are going to score, if you think this is not going to be a complete and utter rout by the Kansas City Chiefs, you hammer the over in this bet. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you guys do check out ThriveFantasy.com. Use the link down below. Sign up and join me in this contest. One of us is going to take home this $10,000 without a doubt in my mind. Again, when you go to deposit, make sure you enter promo code Notorious, or you click on the link and it instantly puts it in for you. I love each and every single one of you guys. Let me know your guys' favorite props for the Super Bowl down below. I love you all. See you beautiful bastards later with another banger of a video. As always, have a great rest of your guys' day. Goodbye.